If you've joined in, we are going to use a chair in today's practice. And of course, you don't have to use a chair, but they're very good. We're going to begin seated. And we're going to rock a little bit from side to side. And you can make it a wave-like motion. Depending on how much you've been moving around before this. Start very small movements. If you're already warmed up, you can make them bigger, whatever feels good in the back, your belly. And try and keep the front of the body nice and spacious. We're going to reach further over to the left now and hold. Put your right hand down on the floor and reach your right arm up. And take a bigger reach with your fingertips and open your heart towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Good. And then the other side. Reaching over to the right, your right hand's down on the floor and your left arm's up by your ear. And opening your heart to the ceiling, the sky. Good. And again, both sides. Try to get that movement of the ribs where you're rolling the right ribs back. Right side. Opening the heart. Good. And then come back to the center. Good. And we're going to take the ribs around the pelvis. In the other direction. Letting the flow of your breath. Good. And then lean back on your hands, feet out in front. Left foot goes under the right. Good. And we're going to aim to lift the right hip up off the floor. Maybe the left hip comes up as well. If you do lift your hips, you can lift right up and let that right arm dangle back. So you feel the broad chest, front chest. Good. And then sit back down. And we're going to go from side to side. So swap your legs over. We're lifting up the left hip now. Maybe the right hip lifts as well. And open the chest. Side to side. We'll do a couple more each side. And the body starting to warm up. That potential movement, but also paying attention to resistance, or maybe there's some little injury or soreness in your body. Feeling compassionate, a little bit of self-care. Good. And then we're going to come into an all forward position. In all fours, open the fingers out wide, a little bit of rocking forward and back. You can move the spine up and down in whatever way helps you to tune in to how all those little muscles are feeling this morning. So it might be a wave-like movement. Enjoy the flow of your breath, connecting your movement, your breath, what you're doing in this moment. Good. And then come into child's pose. But you're going to do child's pose with your elbows on the floor. So your forearms are out in front. Good. Now, what we're going to do is pick up the left hand, left arm, slide it under your right armpit until you're down onto your left shoulder. And then your right hand can be wherever is most comfortable for your right shoulder. But we're going to take a few deep breaths to relax into this shape. Maybe it stretches more in your shoulder. Maybe you can feel it in your upper back, your spine. Just paying attention, keeping the neck nice and long. keep the lower legs parallel. Good, and then come back up to center. Put the elbows down. The right arm goes underneath the left armpit now, slides all the way out until you're laying down onto your right shoulder or in that direction. And you can organize your left arm until it feels more comfortable. We just want to find out where this is going to stretch. Is it the shoulder or the spine? Keep the neck nice and long. Lower legs stay parallel. Finding the breath. Good, and then coming back up and come into forward virasana. So both arms out. Knees out wide enough for the tummy, the chest to feel comfortable, spacious. And letting the spine lengthen. Letting the chest open. And we're going to kneel up. Now, if kneeling's a problem, you can put another blanket under your knees. If you need to come up to standing, that's fine. But we're going to tuck the toes under and see if you can get all of your toes to connect to the floor. And we're going to kneel. Interlock your hands and stretch out through the palm. So you bring the palms together, interlock them, stretch out through the palms. Draw the palms up to the ceiling, draw the shoulder blades down, neck and throat relax. Breathing deeply. Good. And then release that side. Interlock the fingers the other way, press out through the palms. How are those cold toes? Keep breathing. Beautiful. Come into all fours again, relax your toes. They'll be warming up now. And swaying from side to side. Feeling all those lovely, supple, subtle movements all along the spine, neck as well. Great. We're going to lift the knees off the floor, downward facing dog pose. Just noticing where the body might be resisting. So maybe you haven't stretched your hamstrings at all today. This might be the first time. So taking that with care, with compassion, but keeping the neck really nice and free. Feeling broad across the shoulders and the middle back, pressing the heels down. Good, and then we'll walk forward. Little steps, and we're going to come up to standing. And arms all the way up and look up. Urdhva Tadasana. Great. And take your chair. You don't have to use it, but it really helps us with our form when we're moving forward and back on the mat. So nice thing to practice early on in the term. You can always use it to help with balance too. Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. Go. And as you exhale, we're going to do Uttanasana. And you might be aiming the forehead to rest on the back of the chair. You might be aiming towards the back of the seat. And just let your arms rest wherever you are. We're going to take a few breaths here to help organize the easy back and the big stretch for the hamstrings. So nice if you can rest your forehead. You might have your forehead resting up onto your hands or the back of the chair. And we're going to pay attention to the back of the legs. Just have a slight feeling of stretch. So bend your legs And then check in with your back. Can you feel a little easier there, a little longer? Feel the movement of breath in the ribs. Good. Now we don't want to lose that ease in the back. Let's see if you can start to straighten your legs and feel them warm up. My hands and shoulders are relaxed. Good. And then we're going to bend the knees and we're going to roll all the way back up. Oh, good. And then Tadasana. Deep breath, satisfying breath. Great. Inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, we're going to reach for the top of the back of the chair. You can do this with your hands on the floor if you're not using your chair. Walk your feet back a little bit so you feel like you're a right angle. Good. And we're just going to roll the ribs from side to side. So you lift your right ribs, look under your right arm, come back to center, and then you lift your left ribs and you look under your left arm and you come back to center. We're going to go from side to side. Notice how you can really find a stretch along that side fascia of the rib cage. But we're supported and the back feels easeful. Lift the pelvic floor a little, don't sink into your lower back. Lift your kneecaps, feeling strong in your legs. Good. Back to center. Now, this time we're going to lift the right ribs. We're going to bring the left hand into the center and just lift the right arm up off the back of the chair. So try to keep both feet firmly onto the floor, strong legs, and feel the core of the body working to lift. Full of breaths. Good. Place that hand back down in the center. We turn the ribs to the left and we're lifting the left ribs and we're lifting the left arm up off the back of the chair. Feel the core of the body working. Good. And then back down. Good. And then lift the right ribs and the right hand back up off the back of the chair. Back to center. Good. And then we'll do the left side again. Lift the left ribs, lift the left arm off the back of the chair. Good. And then back to center. And release your hand. Just rest your head forward. You can rest it onto the seat, the hands. Walk forward onto the back of the chair if you need to. Strong, straight legs. Nice, easy spine. Even wriggle your hips from side to side or your ribs from side to side. Check in that you don't feel locked along your back. Good. And then we're going to roll up. So bend your knees, come all the way up. Good. And as you exhale, Tadasana. Nice. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, Uttanasana. We're going to lift it up onto straight arms, look forward. Step the right foot back. A little bit of a stretch for your leg. Good, nice long torso. And then stretch the left foot back. And we're in a downward facing dog pose. Kind of. Your hands might be on your chair, or if you're not using your chair, on the floor. Feet hip width, arms shoulder width. Good. And then we just reverse that right foot steps forward. So we get a nice stretch in the leg, feeling long in the side. That's also good. And stepping forward, Uttanasana. Up onto straight arms, a little bit of a back. And then bend your knee and roll all the way up. And Tadasana. Inhale, under. Urdhva. Uttanasana. Up onto straight arm, little back bend. Left leg steps back, nice and straight in your leg, really long in your torso. Good. Right foot steps back, downward facing dog pose. Couple of deep breaths here. Feel how broad the shoulders can be, so there's space for the back of the neck. Good. Left foot forward, straight leg, pelvis level to the floor. Good. And then right foot forward. And then bend your knee. And inhale and roll. Good. And then Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. As you exhale, Uttanasana. Right foot's going to step back. We're going to make a Trikonasana kind of legs. So step your feet out wide enough, nice and straight. Put your left hand down onto the center of the seat of your chair and your right hand on your feet. And we want to feel that good connection of the feet. Both the places where the feet connect with the floor, but also the way they lift. Feel that energy through your legs. And let it really roll your ribs. So the right ribs rolling back and the heart looking upwards to the sky. Good. Feel an energetic lengthening to the spine. Beautiful. And then take the right arm and reaching up. And we're even going to let the right arm drop back a little behind us. So we're really emphasizing that open heart to the sky. Back of the neck roll. Draw the shoulder blades towards the back waist. Do you ever find that feeling that the neck is squashed? We want to make it. Good. And then releasing that side. We'll step the left foot back. Make a downward facing dog pose shape. And step your right foot forward. So a Trikonasana shape. Turn your heel down to the floor. So your left toes are turning towards your center rather than away from you. Your right heel lining up with your left foot in an arch. Put your right hand in the center of the chair. So you've got 3 points in one line, feet and hand. Left hand on your left hip. We're rolling that hip back. And again, find that lovely energetic connection of the soles of the feet on the floor, but also feel where they lift. The inner arches, there's a little outer arch as well underneath the base of the toes. Feel that energy lifting through the legs and roll your whole spine so that the left ribs are rolling back. The heart is opening towards the sky. Beautiful. Take your left arm up. If it feels okay, even let it drop back behind you a little bit. Open the heart. Draw the shoulder blades towards the back waist. Make space now. Beautiful. And then we'll release. Just organize your feet so you can step forward, be in Uttanasana. Take a rest here. Take some deep breaths. Can you make a little more ease for your spine and your neck? A little more strengthening in your legs. Bend your knees and roll all the way up. Urdhva Tadasana. Inhale, arms up, look up. As you exhale, Uttanasana. Good. Come up onto straight arms, and we're going to walk the feet together. It's a little bit different. You're going to employ the core awareness and just lift your right foot free of the floor. So it stays next to the other one, but you just lift up. Good, place it back down. And then we lift the left foot up off the floor. So everything else stays nice and level to the floor. We just lift up, and we're really using that front left core of the body. Good. Now this gets harder once we come into a right angle stretch. So check it out. Let's walk the feet back a little bit. Hands at the back of the chair again. So you want to end up with your heels under your sit bones. Walk the inside edges of the feet together. Good. And then try it again. Ooh, right leg lifts, but we're trying not to hoik the body into an uncomfortable shape. So really keep nice and still, level to the floor, and just use the core of the body to lift that leg. Good. And we'll keep the neck nice and long. Good. And then release that side. Good. Just using the core of the body. Try not to throw your weight throw your weight around. Try not to lean to one side, just lifting the left foot shy of the floor. Good, and then release. Nice work. We're going to walk in and roll up. Take the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana and Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. As you exhale, Uttanasana. Up onto straight arms, looking forward. Nice work. We're going to step the right foot back, and this time it's going to be for a warrior posture, warrior 2. And you're going to line up your heel with the center of the back foot in the arch. You're going to bend your left leg. Good. We're going to stay leaning over that bent leg a little bit. So you put your hand on your chair, or if you haven't got your chairs, rest on your leg. Stay leaning in that direction. It's a little easier to roll the rib cage when you're leaning there. We're going to roll the rib cage. We're going to take the right arm straight out from the right shoulder. So not up by the ear, but straight out from the shoulder. Good. And let the weight of that arm open the rib, open the heart towards the ceiling. Good. Press powerfully into your feet, and without lifting the hips, start to lift just your torso. So we're using core of the body here to lift up. Nice. And we're going to keep reaching the torso back to the right side. Good. Take your left arm up by your left ear and reach back. The left ribs reaching back. Good. And then warrior 2. Feel that lovely active torso. Heart feeling spacious. Bend a little more into the left leg, but lift the pelvic floor, lift the lower front abdomen. Bring the right arm over to the left side. Hands down onto the seat of the chair. Step the feet back. Downward facing dog pose. Step the right foot forward, and that is for Virabhadrasana 2 on the second side. So line your right heel up with the center of the left foot inner arch. Now we're going to stay leaning over the right thigh, but bend the leg thoroughly. Put your hand down on the chair. Good. And then roll the ribs more. So the left hip rolls back, the left ribs roll back, looking up at the ceiling, and take your arms straight out from your shoulder. So your arms in line with your collarbone. Even lean it back a little and feel the chest open. All right, now we want to hold that really good position of the leg, but lift the pelvic floor, lift the lower front abdomen, and we're going to lift the torso into our Virabhadrasana 2 position. Take the right arm straight up by your right ear and keep leaning the torso back. Good, and then again, Virabhadrasana 2. Drop the shoulders. Feel the openness of the chest, the ribs. Beautiful. Shoulders relax down. Lift the pelvic floor. Good. And then the left arm is going to come overhead. Reach back to your chair. Organize your front foot so you've got room to step forward. Uttanasana. And then bend your knees and inhale and rolling up. Urdhva and Tadasana. Right. Inhale, arms up. Urdhva really reach. And then Uttanasana. Step your feet back so that you're a right angle stretch, but we've got our hands down on the seat of the chair here, unless that's too big a reach, and then you can use the back of the chair. We noticed before the energy that it takes to lift one of the feet just shy of the floor. So we're going to lift the whole leg up. So before you start to shift your weight, find a solidness in the connection of the feet to the floor, that energetic spring from the feet upward through the front of the legs, the back of the legs. Feel the core of the body engaged, ready for action, and the length in the spine and the ease in the neck and the throat. And then we're going to stand into the left foot and lift the right foot up behind. If you run out of room, you can bend your leg. Otherwise, nice and straight, and we're keeping an evenness. Notice if you've twisted in the torso trying to lift. Try to make this work in the core of the body. Everything else is at ease. Good, and then release that side. Ooh. And then second side. So feel that good groundedness of the right leg. Left leg lifts, but without tipping the rest of the body. We're using the core. Good, and then releasing that side. And we're going to walk in towards the chair, roll on up. Urdhva Hastasana. Feet like parallel. And then Tadasana. Great. We're going to try our balance. So we'll be putting our right foot up onto the seat of the chair, or else just up in front. And you can put your left hand on your right leg, your right hand on your sacrum. So you don't have to lift your foot off the chair. It's there to help with the balance. But we're going to try and take the arms out to straight. So maybe reach the right one out first. See if you can open the ribs so you're getting parallel to the sides of the mat, or maybe you can even go further. Looking back over your right shoulder. Good. And if you lift the left arm as well. We'll reach out, open the chest. Nice. And maybe you can lift that foot up off the chair as well. Brilliant. And then releasing that side. Nice work. Hands at the heart, feeling centered, pressing the hands, drawing the shoulder blades down. Finding the breath. Left foot up onto the seat of the chair. Right hand onto the left knee, left hand onto the sacrum. And we're turning the ribs. We're feeling those points of contact. The core of the body supporting. Beautiful. See how you go, taking your left arm straight out behind you. It might be parallel to the edges of the mat, or even further if your ribs are really moving now. Pull the shoulder blades down. Good. The neck is feeling at ease. Take the right arm out. Ooh, and then we're going to lift the left foot up off the floor, off the mat. Okay? But only off the chair. But only if that's okay. Otherwise, you keep it there. Good, and then releasing that side. Nice. Come back to center. Wrong words in the heat of the moment. Inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, Uttanasana. And make it however feels really comforting, really nourishing the body. Rest your head where it feels right. You can use your hands, or maybe your chair is just the right proportion for you. If you're using your hands, keep them soft. Ease in your spine, strength in your legs. Good. Now we're going to use the chair for our squatting, and you're going to turn your toes out. So your heels are a little bit wider than your hips. And the chair is just to help you. It might be giving you moral support, or you might be really hanging on. But we're going to start to drop the hips towards the heels, but lift the pelvic floor. Lift the lower abdomen and lower down as much as your knees allow. And then press solidly into your heels. Sorry, I forgot to say, we're going to keep the heels on the floor and come back up. Okay, so always easier when there's something out in front, even if it's not giving much support and it's wobbly. See if you can keep your heels down. Doesn't matter how low or not low you go. All right, so let's try squatting again. We'll hold on with arms out in front on the chair and keep the heels down. So don't go lower than the heel. If the heels lift off the floor, you've gone too far. So go to where you can and then press down through the heels. Lift the pelvic floor. Remember that. Very good for continence, to keep your mind on that lift, that strength, internal muscular support. Nice work. And we'll do one more of those. So keep the heels down. Keep lifting the pelvic floor. The hand up. Chest just there for whatever kind of support. Keep the heels down. Keep lifting internal muscular support. Good. And one more lift. Pressing the heels. And then release. And you don't need the chair anymore. And we're going to lay down. Hands onto your belly. Taking some nice deep breaths. Good. Hug your left knee into your chest. And relax it. So make the thigh really relaxed. Make a little bit more space at the front of the left thigh. Good. And we're going to bring the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. And let the foot fall out, or the leg fall out to the left, and let the right leg just fall out to the right. Take a nice deep. Let the knee be a little bit closer to the chest. Good, and we're going to take that leg across the body, keeping the knee in close to the chest. So we've got quite a bend in the knee, and we're just trying to keep the knee really close to the chest in this knee. And even roll all the way now to your right side. So just let your lower body roll, but reach your left arm back. See if you can keep your left shoulder blade on the floor. Good. Use your core awareness. So when you lift up, you've got muscular support from all around the core of the body. Good. And release that leg down. Great. Hug your right knee in. And then really let it relax. Try and get the knee as close to your chest as you can. Doing the satisfying breath. We're going to bring the toes towards the floor overhead. So we increase that stretch in the back of the leg, but the knee is still very bent. And you hold wherever you can. Keep the knee as close to your chest as you can. And now let that bent but intensely reaching leg up to the right side. And the left leg can just fall out to the left side. Chest relax, belly relax. The knee as close as you can to the chest. Good. And then roll that leg over to the left side and keep the knee as close as you can to the chest. You've still got quite a deep bend in your right knee. And then keep going. So let your leg fall over to the left side. And your whole lower body can roll to the left. But we'll keep the right shoulder blade on the floor. And we'll keep over the right arm. Check that your neck feels comfortable. Nice and long on both sides. Feeling that deep breath in the belly. Just so tight in those muscles, doesn't it, over the back of the hip. Good. And then we'll release. Legs back to center. Another nice way of stretching there. Left heel onto the right knee and bring the legs in as close as you can. So the right knee is heading to the right shoulder, but the left knee, a little idea of moving away from the left shoulder. That improves the external rotation. Working deeply into the hip can feel very calming, like a real emotional relief as well as physical. Swapping sides, just taking notice of the feeling of this movement in your body, how it feels in your whole self. Swap sides, your right heel is on your left knee. Your left knee is moving to your left shoulder, and your right knee away from your right. Good. And then releasing. Let your legs lay out too straight. Let the feet roll out. Let your arms roll out, palms up. Take some deep breath. Feeling that the back of your body is supported. Notice the shape of your spine, whether you're holding tension and letting that. You might be able to stay here in Shavasana and namaste. Thank you. If, like me, you need to finish your practice, wiggling your arms and legs, your hands and feet, bending into center so you can roll over to your side. Oh. And when you're ready, come up and have a seat. And the hands together. Stay and have a wonderful day.